Good morning from in the middle of the Khibini Mountains. We just finished breakfast not too long ago, quickly packed our stuff, and now we are going to take a snowmobile trip for I think about an hour, maybe even more, to a very sacred lake and special lake that's quite remote and sacred to the Sami people. So if you don't know, the Sami people used to inhabit this areas many, many years ago, including the areas of Finland and Norway and parts of Sweden as well. So there are still people living in this area that are ethnically Sami. And we will visit this lake that has a very deep meaning to these people today. So it's going to be quite fun. We have to be dressed quite warm. So let's see how it goes. I think it's going to be quite exciting. So we made it to our destination finally, the lake that's famous to this or precious to the Sami people. In the back we have the Khibini Mountains, and then the lake is called what? So yeah, this lake is very special to the Sami people. We're gonna hear why now pretty soon. But just look at that view at the back there. Beautiful with the mountains and this beautiful lake.
Lake Zidozera is considered one of the possible centers of the mysterious civilization of Hyperborea. According to legend, Hyperborea was a home to highly developed giants who achieved great success in science and culture and then disappeared like inhabitants of Atlantis without a trace. Along with the legend of Hyperborea is a main legend of this lake associated with Koiva. So I don't really know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, so forgive me if I'm not, but Koiva was a fairy tale giant spirit. More precisely, it is mentioned in several legends all at once of the Sami culture. Koiva was a fearsome leader of the enemy tribes and terrified the Lapps with his cruelty, robbing and killing them. The Sami prayed to the gods to protect them. According to legend, the gods heard the Sami and struck Koiva with lightning bolts that flew out of the waters of the lake Zidozera. So on one of the rocks there were still traces of the burnt body of this giant. After listening to all the legends and history of this beautiful area, we continued on the snowmobiles through the forest, discovering new areas and then across more lakes, eventually gathering together to have some lunch for the day.
living life
at its fullest. Oh!
So we just made it to our next stop on this lake, and just look at this all around us, the Khibini Mountains. Look at this, look at these cliffs covered in snow and ice, just amazing. See, apparently there's some carving of what, a man's face, a man's silhouette on the mountain that they're going to show us. But anyway, just admire this. I mean, where in the world will you see such places easily? Yeah, some people go to the Maldives, some people go to Mauritius, and if you live in Russia, you go to Sochi during winter. We come to the Arctic to see these amazing places. So yeah, how do you find all of this?
It's truly magical. You can feel a lot of power standing on this place.
Yeah, look at these cliffs. All I want to do is I just want to go climb them. Yeah, hopefully one of the summers we can come here and go climb up and hike around these mountains here. So we quickly stopped because our other companions over there got stuck with the snowmobile over there, as you can see. So we unhooked here, and our driver went to quickly help them get out. We're heading to a destination where we're going to stop quickly and drink some tea to warm up before we'll head back to our accommodation. But yeah, it's still, everywhere we go, everywhere we stop, it's just really spectacular. Seeing this, I mean, the scenery is amazing. These mountains are just really magical. I mean, look at all the view all around me. Just everywhere you look, you see mountains. So if you look over there, it's hard to see on the video, but over there is a carving of a person's body.
So it was quite difficult to spot what they wanted to show us on the cliffs up ahead because of the snow and all the ice. But on this picture you can clearly see the burnt out traces of the body of the Kuiva spirit, which I spoke about earlier in the video.
So you're taking a quick walk to the place where we need to go. Walking on this frozen lake. It's so nice. Having some fresh air, breathing some fresh air. Being out of Moscow, where you every day breathe that filthy polluted air. Now you can have some clean air, fill the lungs with, get healthy, get stronger again.
Going on a bear hunt.
Right, so Seems like this hike turned out to be further than what we expected, but it's fine. It's amazing. Like I said, you know, just breathing the fresh air, being in nature. I mean, look at these surroundings. What more do you want? Go to Sochi? Not really my cup of tea. Maybe the mountains behind Sochi, but Sochi itself, that's really my kind of holiday for winter. I mean, it's winter, you need to experience the cold. Yeah? Well, we made it to the area where we're going to have lunch quickly. I see that we're going to eat some fish on the fire that we're going to make on the fire. Yeah, in the forest next to the river and the mountains.
So after enjoying some delicious fish that was grilled on the fire for lunch, we explored the area a little bit and had a look at the river with very crystal clear water. Then we all gathered around in a traditional Sami tent, listening to our tour guide, who is ethnically Sami, telling us a lot of folklore and tales of the Sami culture.
Well, we are just finished. We're gonna go back to the spot where we got off the sleds, and then we're gonna head back to the camp. It's gonna be quite a long drive. Pick up our stuff, and then we need to head back across the lake again to where we left the cars last night, in order then to get back to Murmansk tonight still. So yeah, the next 2 hours are gonna be long and hard. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yay, we made it to the spot.
Going a bit slower because there's a lot of ice.
Yes.
That's brittle, so we're like actually getting stuck in the ice. But we'll get there eventually. Just arrived back after a long journey on the snowmobiles, covered in snow completely. We are welcome back with warm soup and a nice hot fire. So we're gonna fill up and then we're gonna head back to the cars and then travel back to Moscow, Murmansk.
So it took about a few hours to get back to the camp on the snowmobiles. The weather was actually quite bad, it was really snowy, and we got stuck in a few places as well. After arriving back at camp, we filled up with some nice hot food and then got back on the snowmobiles to travel across the lake to where we left the cars a few nights earlier. Then we took the cars and drove a few hours back to the city of Murmansk before checking into our hotels. And then from there, we thought of going outside of the city to look for the amazing northern lights.
So we drove about 40 kilometers north from Murmansk out into the Arctic countryside to see if we can find some northern lights. We're not having a lot of luck with the cloudy weather we have this whole week actually, but it's still worth a try because sometimes there's some clear spots where the clouds pull away, because look, you can actually see the moon there at the back, so maybe we're lucky. We're going to hang around a bit, maybe drive to another point and see, go from point to point to see if it's going to change. Hopefully we're lucky, because me and Nasir both have never seen it in our lives, and I would really love to see it, because I've been living in Russia for 4 years and I've never made the effort actually to travel up north in the winter, so it's probably a once in a lifetime experience, if you see it.
So we drove very far eventually trying to see the northern lights with no luck. Some of our team members were really starting to get cold, and eventually me and Nastya as well. Even though we were wearing the thick Arctic boots, my feet were really starting to freeze. And then we were driving to the next stop, to the next stop, to the next stop with no luck at all. And then finally we saw it. And it was very dim, but, at least we saw it for the first time in our lives, and it was a moment that we will never forget.
Well, we managed to very quickly see a part of the northern lights. Managed to capture it on my phone very quickly, and then we wanted to take a photo with like a group photo with a big professional camera, but unfortunately we were too late, so we couldn't manage to do that, but at least we got to see it. We also managed to, like I said, get it on my phone at least as a memory, so better than nothing.
So that's it for the Khibini Mountains, and finally also seeing the northern lights. Join us on the next video as we travel to the Arctic Ocean to the village of Teribierka.